Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here, and I've got an important report to share with you. But before I do, I want to state this. Years ago, when media started up, they started from the ashes, from nothing. Someone had an idea in this capitalist system that we have to start writing down information and sharing it and telling people what's really going on in the government and politics. And that grew into the beast that we know today, the media. And even more so, the mainstream media. Well, now that other people are attempting to rise from the ashes and expose the corruption within the mainstream media and get back to the real news that it was years ago, we now have attacks on channels such as mine and multiple other alternative media news networks with the attempt to put us out of business and label us with the fake news label. How are they doing it? Well, lobbyists, as well as the U.S. government, as well as many mainstream media proponents, are dishing out money to a little group called NewsGuard. And this is a word we're going to want to remember. You know why? Because they are purposefully grooming them to be on every iPhone and every computer here in America. A little group, let me show you their Facebook page. Now, their Facebook page boasts 547 Facebook followers. Their Twitter has 2,250 followers. And their website, as you can see here, gets nearly 300 visitors per month. In a nutshell, this organization, News Group, is a nobody. No one knows about them. They're very little. They're not getting any traffic. But yet, people are lobbying tons of money into this group. Red alert. I'm issuing a red alert because this agency is being groomed to be the news police. And they are going to start ranking news groups on a green or red ranking. Green means good, red means propaganda and fake. So you can imagine they're already in bed with groups like the Washington Post and mainstream media outlets, as well as people on their board are linked with the CFR, and I'm going to prove it to you. But before I do, I want to give a quick shout out to my partner at NobleGoldInvestments.com. If you've not converted your 401k into something solid, now is the time to do so. But you can check it out by calling the number or click the link in the description box below. All right, so back to the broadcast. So let's go first to this news article where I discovered it, and it's on mintpressnews.com, published January 9th of this year. How a neocon-backed fact checker plans to wage war on independent media. As NewsGuard's project advances, it will soon become almost impossible to avoid this neocon-approved news site ranking system on any technological device sold in the United States of America. A little bit further in the article, it details this. NewsGuard, by virtue of its deep connection to government and Silicon Valley, is lobbying to have its ranking of news sites installed by default on computers in the United States public libraries, in our schools, and in our universities, as well as on our smartphones and computers sold in the United States of America. So this little group, a little nobody, all of a sudden is surrounded by thousands and millions of dollars, and it wants to be installed and control what news our children see, our colleges see, and the news that comes onto our phone via an app that's pre-installed on your phone. Interesting. This isn't something that the public is asking for. This isn't something that the public's desired. It's something that's being forced on you and I by the establishment. And guess what? Mainstream media, of course, who's in the pocket of NewsGuard, is already advertising for them and pushing them as, well, good. There's about 100 articles. I'm going to show you a handful. Check this one out. C-SPAN video. This was Steve Brill, the NewsGuard CEO. He is discussing the app with CNN, a little nobody organization. Boston Globe, new tools help stand guard against fake news. They're referencing NewsGuard there. The Hill, finding common ground and rating media, also in reference to NewsGuard. CBSNews.com, new venture Publisher aims to combat fake news on social media with warning labels. Speaking of NewsGuard, Washington Examiner Steve Krill, the CEO of NewsGuard, planned how not to address the fake news problem. YaleDailyNews.com, Yale alumni combat fake news with startup. MSNBC, solution on the beat. New company launches to demolish fake news online. BillO'Reilly.com, NewsGuard Technologies to release website to combat fake news. Microsoft.com, defending against disinformation in partnership with NewsGuard. Local media insider, NewsGuard Trust Initiative shows early promises. And Adweek.com, the startup uses old school journalism to expose fake news. NewsGuard just launched a tool to help advertisers avoid funding information. All of those articles are in reference to NewsGuard, and like I said earlier, there is 100 some odd more, mainly from mainstream media proponents pushing this idea. But you know why mainstream media proponents are pushing it and supporting it? Because they're linked. They're part of NewsGuard. Let's go straight to their website so you can see a little bit about what they are about. But here's their actual claim to restore trust and accountability. And it goes on to say that NewsGuard uses journalism to fight fake news or false news, misinformation, and disinformation. Our trained analysts who are expertise journalists research online news brands to help readers and viewers know which ones are trying to do legitimate journalism and which ones are not. And then it goes on to talk about our red-green rating signal if a website is trying to get it right or instead has a hidden agenda or knowingly publishes falsehoods or propaganda. So if I speak against NewsGuard, am I automatically on the red list? If I expose some of the corruption that is going on, am I automatically on the naughty list with NewsGuard? Just simply for revealing information? It's very possible that that is the case. But what makes it even worse is that they're linked very much so to globalist organizations. Check this out. And these are some of the people calling the shots. Let's start with Louis Gordon Kravitz, who is the CEO of the group. Here's his bio, but it says former publisher, editor, board member, and opinion columnist for the Wall Street Journal. So the Wall Street Journal automatically gets a green check. Board members of the Business Insider, who automatically gets a green check. Editor or contributor to books published by the American Enterprise Institute and Heritage Foundation gets a green check. Founder of Factiva gets a green check. And co-founder of Press. And of course, as you can see there highlighted, this man is a member of the Council on Foreign Relations, the CFR. The CFR is a globalist linked organization, and they're not necessarily out for the good of America. They're more focused on an international calling, a globalist group. This guy is linked with so many media outlets. How about those on the advisory board? Let's go there. And we have Tom Ridge, the first Secretary of Homeland Security under George W. Bush. The second here, Richard Stengel, former editor of Time magazine and Undersecretary of State for Barack Obama's administration. So automatically, Time magazine gets a green check next to their name. General Michael Hayden, former director of CIA, former director of NSA, and former principal deputy director of national intelligence under Bush. Then we have Don Baer, chairman of Burton Cohen Wolf, and former White House communications director under Bill Clinton. Yay. Ellis Jordan, political analyst for NBC. NBC also gets a check right there. And foremost speechwriter for Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice. John Battelle, co-founder, editor of Wired. Now Wired gets a green check. And founding chief executive of Industrial Standard magazines, check there too. And Jessica Lesson, founder and editor-in-chief of The Information, who will also receive a green check. So all these mainstream media news organizations get an automatic green pass. And now they're wanting this app installed on every computer, on every phone, as an automatic download. And then they want to put this app in your kids' schools, in your kids' colleges. So they already have the mentality. This is good, this is bad. This one lies, this one tells the truth. Never mind the fact that CNN, MSNBC, ABC, Washington Post have all been caught in lie after lie after lie. Doesn't matter. If alternative news makes one mistake, they're on the naughty list. They're on the bad list. Or even so, maybe just because of your political conservative view, or the fact that you talk about conspiracy facts, I'm talking facts here, then you're on the naughty list. That is called control, and it is likened to what is happening in China. Anyhow, I'd love to get your thoughts, comments, and concerns. I think this is absolutely critical to share everywhere. We need to get this out. If this app goes through, because remember, it's being lobbied, and billions of dollars and millions, millions to billions, I'm not sure exactly how much, are being spent on this app. It's backed by government, it's backed by lobbyists, and they're pushing it in our schools. A group that is a nobody wants to police news and be the Stasi police for news. They want you to listen to them, members of the CFR, members of the Clinton organizations, members of mainstream media, because they don't want competition and they don't want truth. And that's how they're going to stop it, unless we make our voices heard. Contact your senators, the lobbyists that are lobbying for this. Let them know we don't want this as an automatic download on our computers and iPhones. Anyhow, I love you all. If you like what you heard, subscribe to the channel and share it everywhere. Because to be honest, the only way that you're going to get real news like this, because mainstream media tells you what they want you to hear, is by subscribing to channels like mine. And I always take you to the source. Create an account on YouTube, go to my website, lisahaven.news, and subscribe there. And I'm going to ask you to even subscribe to my backup channel, because in the event something happens here on YouTube, I've got an alternative, so please subscribe there as well. I do put videos there periodically. Anyhow, I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.